Alice, and since it's been a while since I did a favorites video, I figured we would do one. So fall here in Oslo is in full swing, which is definitely one of my favorite things because I'm not a huge summer person. I will like enjoy the first 2 weeks of it and then I'm kind of over it. So I'm really excited that it's finally fall here and things are cooling down and it's getting darker in the evenings and it's super cozy. So I guess the fact that it's fall is my first favorite. As usual with my favorites videos, I'm gonna start off with some series that I've watched recently that I really enjoyed. The first one is Loki, and I did technically watch this a couple of months ago, so it was summer, but I'm just mentioning it here because I really enjoyed it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this as well, but this is like a Marvel series, and I quite enjoy Marvel. I find it very entertaining, even though not everything from Marvel is like the best thing I've ever seen. I just find it very enjoyable, and I thought this series was really quite good. I generally prefer movies and series that focus on a single character and we get to like know them a little bit better, and I very much enjoy series about a specific character because I feel like we get to know the character a little bit better. And of all of the Marvel stuff, my favorite movies are the Thor movies, so this was like right up my alley and I really enjoyed it. I guess for those of you who haven't watched the series and don't know what it's basically about Loki in a different timeline. I don't remember what movie he like veers out from, I can't remember, but Loki gets like, he sort of diverges from his timeline and he gets caught up with the Time Variance Agency, who is charged with, I guess, sort of getting rid of anything that doesn't fit the timeline. It's anything to do with time is like super trippy, and this is kind of a trippy show, so it's very difficult to explain. But I found it very enjoyable. It was exciting, and I just really like when we get to spend more time with characters. It does get a little weird because there are like several Lokis running around and they get like caught up with each other, which is kind of like weird, but I very much enjoyed it. And I especially enjoyed Alligator Loki. Long live that little creature. I don't know why, but that little thing made me really happy. The second series that I watched and loved is The Queen's Gambit, and I am just super happy that I finally got around to watching the show because it came out last year and I like missed all the hype, but I finally watched it. I actually read the book and then watched the series, which I made a whole vlog about, which I will leave a link to somewhere. And if you don't know, this is like a historical drama show, I guess. It starts off in the 1950s, and it's about Beth, who shows this amazing talent for chess at the orphanage where we first meet her, and it's all about her chess career and her rise to stardom, all the while grappling with addiction. This was just fantastic. I loved the setting of this, the time period, the story, and just all of the actors. Like, all of it was amazing, and I just love the way that the whole show looks, you know, like it just looks great. And I thought it was a very solid miniseries, and it was a very solid adaptation of the book, actually, which I was very impressed by. And it made me want to like play chess. I do kind of know how to play chess because my grandfather taught me when I was young, but I haven't played in years, and it made me want to like get back into it. It also made me want to like dress up every day because the fashion in that show was just amazing. My next favorite thing that I want to mention is going to the movies. I love going to the cinema, and for the past year I haven't been going a lot because for obvious reasons things have been closed and it has felt a little bit unsafe, and there haven't been that many movies that I've wanted to see, and now everything is like coming out, so I've been going to the movies a lot and it's my favorite thing. I love it so much. And I have 3 movies that I've seen that I want to mention, and the first one is The Suicide Squad. Just like with Marvel stuff, I really enjoy these types of films. They're just like very entertaining and action-packed, and you don't need to think a lot. And for those of you who watched the first Suicide Squad film, you may know that that movie was a little bit of a dumpster fire. And with this one, I feel like they sort of got to where they should be. with it. The movie, if you don't know, is about all of these villains who get picked by the government to do these like missions, and obviously, you know how these things go. There's an enemy, they need to fight it, la-di-da. I, again, just really enjoy these types of movies. This is very entertaining and action-packed and very, very violent. So bear that in mind. Like, if you don't like violent movies, this is not the one for you. And also, don't bring your kids because it's a lot. I also went to see Cruella, which I was very apprehensive about, to be honest, because I watched the trailer and I didn't know how I felt about it, and then I heard a lot of mixed things, but I actually really enjoyed this movie. It's like a prequel or an origin story of Cruella de Vil from I don't remember the name of that movie, the Dalmatians movie from Disney, and it's all about like her growing up in like 1970s London, and she's an aspiring fashion designer, and I thought this was, again, very entertaining and pretty good. Like, I was surprised by how much I liked it. We do get both Emma Stone and Emma Thompson in this movie, which is pretty darn great. One of my favorite things about this movie, besides just how it looked in like 1970s London and all the fashion and all of that, and both of the Emmas, the soundtrack for this movie is fantastic. Like, it's really, really good. And when I was in the cinema watching this, me and my friend were like, the music for this is amazing. Also, another thing it just makes me chuckle every time I think about Cruella de Vil. I was like pretty far into my 20s before I realized that de Vil is literally devil. Like, it just makes me laugh every time I think about it. I don't know why I didn't make that connection, but I was old when I realized that. I hope I'm not the only one. Did anyone else not realize that, or is it just me? The third movie that I want to mention is one that I actually watched this week, and it is Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. And this is, again, a Marvel movie, superhero movie. Again, I just really enjoy those movies. They don't make you think at all, which I really enjoy for some reason. This was really, really fun though. It's about this guy who lives in San Francisco, and he hangs out with his best friend all the time, and he has this past that the friend doesn't know about, and one day these guys come after him, and it turns out that he can fight really well, and his father has come for him and wants him to come back home, I think. And his father has this weapon that grants him immortality and all of these godly powers, and his father is a little bit off his rocker. So this guy and the friend goes to like sort it out, basically. It's your typical superhero movie in a lot of ways, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. This does follow the same like recipe that a lot of Marvel movies follows in a way, but it felt a little bit new to me. I like that we were introduced to a new superhero, and I like that we get to see different places and there are different like cultural stuff. And like I mentioned, I kind of prefer movies and series and stuff to focus on a single character. I just enjoy those a lot more. And one of my favorite things about this particular movie was not just the fighting, which was immaculate, but the fact that the main character and his female best friend are just friends, and they just remain best friends. It was like one of my favorite things. I love when that happens in movies, and I love when there isn't like forced romance. It was just, I just loved that part of it. I also just really enjoyed the way that this movie looked and all of the different settings that we got to go to. And I liked that Wong is in the movie a little bit. I don't know why, but I just love him as a character. And I liked a lot of the female characters in this movie, actually. I felt like there were a lot of like good female characters. They're never perfect in these types of movies. Like, they're not like super well explored, but it was pretty good. A lot of them were pretty awesome. Moving on to music, I have got an album favorite, and it is Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. Now, it has been quite a while since I sat down and listened to a whole album. Like, I feel like most people don't do that anymore. I used to do it when I was growing up, and now I'm the kind of person who will like listen to one song over and over, and that's kind of it. But one of my colleagues told me that I should listen to this whole album, and I did, and it's amazing. I really like Billie Eilish. I think her voice is just amazing and I really like her music. But this is the first time I've been like, wow, this is amazing. Like the whole album is amazing. If you don't know her music, it's kind of like pop, but it's not particularly upbeat. It's kind of more atmospheric and downbeat, if that's a word. Probably not, but it's more like low key. And her voice on this album is just immaculate, and I would really recommend just sitting down and listening to this whole thing. I do prefer some of the songs over the other, but the whole album is just excellent. Another thing that I've been listening to lately is one of my new favorite podcasts, and it is Morbid. I love this show. I've been enjoying it so much. I've been listening to it for the past couple of months, and like, I started from the beginning and I'm like catching up. I've listened to over 200 episodes, which is a lot, but I've really been enjoying it. It's basically a true crime comedy podcast. It's kind of like My Favorite Murder, and the hosts are Elena and Ash, and it's just very enjoyable. Like, if you enjoy true crime, I think you would like this. I generally prefer not the like super serious podcasts about true crime because it gets a little bit too horrific for me. I prefer these types of podcasts where it's sort of broken up by a little bit of humor, but to me the humor feels respectful and it feels like it just helps break all of the horrible stuff up in a way. And I really enjoy the hosts, and I think it's funny and horrific all at the same time, which for me is very entertaining. It may be a little disturbing, but also entertaining. Moving on to a fashion favorite, I have got these two scarves from a company called the Tartan Blanket Company, and I actually have another one of these scarves from them that I've had for a couple of years, and this fall I decided to get two new ones so that I have different scarves to go with different outfits, because I'm that kind of person. Like, this one would go really well with what I'm wearing today, just saying. This company is based in Scotland, and I'm pretty sure most of their designs are based on like Scottish tartans, I'm guessing. I feel like I read that on their website, and these are wool and they're so warm. I'm really happy with the one that I've had for a couple of years. It still looks amazing, and it's just perfect for the season, and I love it so much. They also make blankets, I'm pretty sure, and they look amazing. I can't afford one right now. I want one, but I'm gonna save up and get one, because if the blankets are like these scarves, it's the coziest thing. I've actually given several of these types of scarves away in the past as gifts because I think they make really good gifts. They're a little expensive, but not too expensive, and they're good quality, and it's like a nice gift to give someone, I feel. And I really like that this brand feels like they're pretty transparent about their process of making things, and they focus on sustainability, which I really like, and you can read loads about it on their website if you're interested. But yeah, I really like these. Then I've got a makeup favorite that I've been using for the past couple of months, and it's this Fenty skin tint. I have this in the shade 2 because I'm quite pale, and I've really been enjoying this. This is like a very lightweight foundation. For me, I just use a little bit and it sort of evens out my skin tone, and that's kind of it. It's not like super heavy, but you can build it up if you want to, and I love Fenty as a brand. Like, I just like everything that I've tried from them. I've tried one thing that I didn't like. It was like a foundation, but I got it, I think, in maybe the wrong shade. Maybe that was my problem. But I really like that they've finally started selling Fenty in stores in Norway now, because I used to have to order it online, and now I can actually go look at stuff, which is dangerous for my wallet, but good for me because I can actually like try stuff out in store. And I've really been enjoying this. This doesn't break me out, it doesn't make me too greasy, and it's just like the perfect lightweight foundation for me. Lastly, I have got some candle favorites. Now, I love candles, scented candles, unscented candles, all kinds of candles, as you can see by this background. And I have 3 that I want to show you because I just love burning candles this time of year. It's so cozy. The first one is this from Mythology Candles. It's called Bearded Tree. This is amazing. It smells like a forest in winter to me. It's very like woodsy and earthy, and it reminds me of like walking in the forest in like fall and winter, and it smells so good. I've actually had this for maybe 6 months, and I'm trying not to burn through it too quickly. Mythology Candles, like their website could be the death of my personal finances. Like there is so much stuff on there that I want. So I can't go on there too much because I'll just spend too much money. And I did see that they have like an autumn collection, and I'm trying very, very hard not to like just spend all my money. But everything I've gotten from them ever smells amazing. Then I've got a candle that I got for my birthday. It's this candle from Rituals. It's called The Ritual of Myrrh, and this says it has like cedar wood and orange in it, but I feel like the best way to explain the smell is that it smells really like clean in a way, and I love this packaging as well, like this orange packaging. It's really like fall appropriate, and I've only burned this once, but it made my whole apartment smell really nice. Lastly, we have got Haunted Library by Alchemy and Ink. I actually got this candle last year, and it feels like a very fall appropriate candle for me. So I put it away at some point, and I was like, I'm gonna save this until next year. And now we're here, so I can burn it again. This is a very, very difficult scent to describe. It says it's bourbon and dark oud, whatever that is, and it's kind of like vanilla-y, but it feels to me like a deep and dark type of cozy vibe, which is not very specific, but it's all I've got. Okay, everyone, I think that was kind of it for today. I would love to know what you all have been listening to lately and what you've been watching, whether it be movies or series, and maybe just tell me about what makes you feel cozy for fall these days, whether it be candles or scarves or whatever. As usual, links to my Patreon and other social media will be in the description if you're interested, and I will see you soon. Bye!